I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
For AutoSave, welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching My Hero Academia, Season 8, the final season, Episode 1. This is, I feel like, going to be pretty emotional for me this season. My Hero Academia was one of the first animes that I really watched other than Dragon Ball Z growing up. And then I think I saw Blue Exorcist that you introduced me to, and then you introduced me to My Hero.
Mm-hmm.
And because
Aren't
of
I
that,
the best, honestly.
because of that, it's been extremely significant in my life. And I remember watching like Blind Wave My Hero reactions before we ever started AutoSave, and I am extremely already kind of, I'm gonna miss it, even though that it's like seasons are far apart and it's been going on for so long. It's just gonna be significant.
Mm-hmm. The ending of season 7 definitely had this like heightened emotions happening, especially with the last, I would say, even couple minutes of the last episode of season 7. And to possibly go right back into those emotions, I don't think it would take me too long at all at the start of what I'm about to watch to get back immersed into the emotions I was feeling at the end of season 7. I don't think it'll be hard at all.
I completely agree. The best 2 versus 2 we could hope for. Armored All Might thankfully has Hercules at his side to assist.
Mm-hmm.
But without further ado, you ready?
Yep.
Sweet.
ヒーローが衰退し、ヴィランが流星した。正攻法での勝ち筋は薄く、か細い糸を手繰るようなものだったので、だからこそ策を講じ、相手を分断させ、優位を取りに行った。風が強く吹き荒れていた。
Oh my god.
風が。
Was that the hand after this?
Some chills.
このままでは死柄木と合流を増援は無理です。たとえ万全なもの
You
が
thought
としても塚内君
And he recognizes a voice.
Show me the entire thing again, please.
私の戦いだったんだから。
どうやって戦う？無個性なんだぞ。
He's not classless.
死柄木弔の憎しみが
So many
お前
ways.
にまで影響を及ぼしているって無視はできないだろうな。なんてったって私が来た。面は見せないとな。アーマードオールマイト。
足止め、船舶な狙い。分かりきっているのに。
笑っている。ヘルクレス、レッドライオット。
避けずに猛進。その戦い方はワン・フォー・オールがあったからこそだろうが。
チャージスマン。
体制の妨害を。
Pinky's coming up soon.
からずっと常に遠距離攻撃だよな。個性を奪うってな。その戦い方は個性があるやつとの戦い方だろうが。私は過去一度たりとも負ける気で戦ったことはない。セロファン、ビルドアップ、シュガーマン、シュートスタイル、スマッシュ。 まったく気がめいるぜ。痛いキャラ青年をなぶるってな。貴様はワン・フォー・オールを手に入れるため魔王が聞いて呆れるぜ。無個性でもやれる程度とは。
バネカプラス両力増強プラス押し出しプラス病突プラスダークボールプラス後陣。
だな。煽りが効いている証拠。しゃべれしゃべれ。降り続けろ年取り。
戦えている。何を勘違いしている。出がらしのゴミクズが。ゴミ袋をかぶったら気が大きくなったか。壊れて失うだけだ。限界を超えない。
気が合うね親友。
君の時間稼ぎに釣られたんじゃない。
I love how much the armor seems to reference Deku in the last couple of seasons.
Pinky!
き戻ったそばから腐食し続けちゃうな。生ゴミじゃなかったっけ。
We're just about caught up. Look at what rooftop you're on.
私もかつて同じ若さを持っていた。オールマイトという人間がそのようにしか生きられるのだ。また少し幼くなったか。自覚はしているのだろう。
Yeah, the rewind.
探りを入れて我に変えられるのも嫌だな。ぶち込まれたピンキーを体外に出すため
Keep him focused on you and
負荷
distracted.
で個性を使った。とするとで加速度的に巻き戻しが進行する。簡単なく持ってこいエルクレス。人の役に立てて嬉しい。頑張れインギニウム出力全開。エグミよ私に力を貸してくれ。テンタコルイン9番フロッピーより小回りよ。惜しい一辺倒じゃ奴も飽きるだろう。ショートテイルマン
河原の次は逃げ隠れか。
来た。
そのにやけ面を苦悶で歪ませるのに
Mm.
大げさな力はいらない。
省エネで行くよ。
上昇
Oh my god!
そっちね。
いや
省エネだぜ。
What the fuck?
笑顔が消えてるぞ。
Yeah, mine's gone too. So creepy.
ただの老骨だ。上っ面だけ模倣し自身を介護させてるだけの取っているんだろう。みんなが見てるぞ。無力の象徴に落ち耐える様を。
Come on, All Might.
ノリの灯火は消える。
Oh, the embers.
じゃいないな。
Oh!
滅するのだ。死の灯火が消えようとも火を受けた誰かが照らされた暗がりに。
はいりません。
What?
分断作戦決行地点より
Why are we here? Oh my
Oh,
god.
fat gum.
32名のうち
32.
1人を残し行動不能。青山君
Use that quirk that was given to you.
何も大きな花は史上初めて。
I love the fat gum flower. I hate that I love it.
This guy's design is so cool.
I know. He's amazing.
Like this, the shirt and tie at the bottom half.
逃げられるわけないでしょう。さらには狙いも定まらない。力力んでいますが、花が成長するだけですよ。たもみっともない人生。
ともない自分を忘れないでいられるから。彼らの光により強く追いすがれる。
Keep up.
輝きたいと腹の底から
Oh!
思える。
みっともなく死ぬことになるんですよ。
Oh!
出たぜ
火は照らされ、私もまた気がしないぜオールフォーワン。
目標6
にやかれな。
Can't stop twinkling, bitch.
What a transition!
はい出てくるぞ。スターの最後の戦いに習う。
Wow.
固めて持続圧迫なんてゲートはできんがな。から音波振動 ビジブルガールが特されていてもうわずかに軽減できるこの状況を生むため食らった一
ねえおばあちゃん、この黒くて細い人は誰？
あ
負けたらどうなるの？
あ、何分遠い国のことじゃからどっちが勝ったにせよ。
各部コットンさん、オーバーロード爆砕します。
ルクレス
言ったろ
What if he wins? What if he loses?
道具は限界を超えない。
こうしているシャリかよ
笑顔を忘れたな親友。絶望と苦痛に歪んだ君をぐちゃぐちゃにしてが僕にしたようにね。体が動かない。
血は等しく赤い。これは誰だ。
Stain?
よけ
Holy shit! Person who discovered your betrayal.
Yeah.
力使ってもこんなことなかった。あったか。何考えて教室にいたの？自然に
Her
立って。
eyelashes.
I know, they're beautiful.
それで透明化がお腹大丈夫？
今日が遊泳生として最後の日なんだ。いけるよ。どこまでも。
Okay, that was My Hero Academia, Season 8, the final season, Episode 1. Stain. Stain. Period. Stain. Stain is one of my favorite characters within the entire series of My Hero Academia. The arc with Deku actually, you know, being able to utilize his full body for the first time within the series, teaming up with Ida and fucking Shoto was one of the best arcs in My Hero Academia for me.
I feel like it felt like, oh, this is the first episode, you know, when Stain enters the fight kind of helping All Might, I was like, oh yeah, first episode. And then we get what I assume is going to be the OP, but we get it at the end. And then after that,
Yeah.
then I was like, oh, this is amazing to be having this content in the first episode.
I'm so glad that Stain's here to help. I don't know if he could, if All Might could take All For One any further along without Stain. It looked pretty hopeless at that point.
The whole bottom half of him is out of commission, basically.
His right arm is out of armor at all.
He had to get rid of so many things, I think. The tail, the tentacles. There's so many things that he's lost now in terms of the armor and the kind of capabilities from the students, that it's like he's kind of low on arsenal, right?
I'm just so glad that it's Stain, because it just... what Stain stood for, right? And all of that being twisted and used by Shigaraki to enlist everybody else is coming back in full circle. Stain's ideology was that only All Might was the definition of greatness and perfection within Stain's eyes. And after Stain meeting All Might and saying that he doesn't even recognize him, who is he? He's definitely not All Might, even after All Might puffed up and showed him that it is him, it is his form. That's not what Stain meant. And Stain is going to be giving the opportunity for All Might to be able to redefine himself as the character that he is.
He's this ideal and magnificent hero as Stain had previously recognized him. And what we're getting is Stain is recognizing this armored All Might in front of him, fighting with everything he has as the All Might. He recognizes him. And I think we use that kid from some other country, some other place being like, who's this hero? And I'm going to assume his grandma being like, I don't know, I don't keep up with the names of the heroes.
Too many heroes at this point.
Too many heroes.
It's not like it's going to affect us.
I don't recognize him. But you know who recognizes him? Stain.
Yeah.
Stain recognizes that what's in front of him is the hero, All Might,
and
being the hero.
In a way, the kid recognized him as All Might, even though he had no idea who All Might would be or this person is, because that's the type of hope that All Might that pillar had always instilled within people who didn't even know who he was yet. And that hope is still alive. And that kid Oh my
The
god.
beginning to clasp the hands together as if you're like hoping and cheering on someone beyond a TV screen, even though you're being told by someone else, oh, this won't affect us. It's happening somewhere else. This won't affect us. It's not something to like be worried about, but you still feel that kid still feels the desire to cheer him on, even though there is this somewhat of a semblance of safety that he might feel within his home. That we know, you know, if he does lose, if All Might does lose, if everyone loses here, that safety you feel is in some other country is not going to exist for too long.
Yeah. Do you think that it's going to be enough? I mean, it's interesting because we didn't see Deku at all this episode, and
Did that surprise you?
yeah, a little bit, but it makes sense at the same time because it feels like this final season needs to be equal in between All Might and Deku, because at the end of last season, coming into this season, it was both of them acknowledging that the other one was fighting. Midoriya was able to feel it and see the vestige of All Might fighting, and All Might was the one saying, let's do this, Midoriya, you know, Izuku, it's our time to do this. And because of that, I feel like it needs to be balanced within that case. Obviously, like, it is Izuku's story, and because of that, it is more it's setting him up more than anybody, but I love
His stage, I guess.
His stage, yeah, but I love that All Might is being that other fighter here.
If anything, you could think about going right and just having All Might mainly in this episode. It's like a foundation. You're creating the stage that will be Deku probably being the finisher of it all, at least emotionally.
Yeah. I almost don't want I feel weird calling him All Might. I almost want to call him Toshinori because, like, there's something that All Might has gotten to at this point. Toshinori has gotten to at this point upon recollecting and remembering what Midoriya was asking him on that rooftop, was wondering if you could be a hero even though you're quirkless. And the idea that you wouldn't be able to has come so far away from being the truth, and having Toshinori be the embodiment of that is perfect. And and seeing that hope through him being quirkless right now is everything.
Do you think what we got at the very beginning of this episode's start is the future?
I think so.
I think it's All Might's hands and then Deku's hands. Like, I feel like that more wrinkly hand was probably All Might, and then obviously the very scarred hand. Very easy to be like, yeah, that's probably Deku.
On one hand, I do hope that it is theirs, because that would imply surviving, right? And All Might, you know, breaking out of Sir Night-Eye's vision of dying that horrifying, gruesome death. And I would love for both of them to survive this, but I don't think for a second that they could without any scars or without any damage
done.
Permanent, you know?
Irreversible.
Yeah, so I would think that it is theirs. That's how I read it as well.
Because the point of this is to feel hope. Your hope in so much destruction and so much darkness, and to see the reality of these people putting their bodies on the line in this story, that they're willing to, they're not students anymore. They're not just an average civilian. They're like putting their bodies and lives on the line to save the world and to save other people. And they're willing to take the risk of irreversible damage done. And to kind of get to watch that with that feeling of hope, like we're that kid watching the television screen. That's the whole point of like what we as viewers are doing within the kind of season 7 into season 8.
Yeah. Halfway through the episode, when we're like transported away to Aoyama's fight, I was like, wait, what the fuck's going on? But the payoff of it being All Might using Can't Stop Twinkling against All for One was so good.
The composition of having one then segue into the other of Twinkling. And not only that, did we just use the kind of same ability, the same quirk, but we had this like shooting off of the two, I think it was Anima ability, shooting off of the two almost like tentacles or wires to connect into the canon that was able to do Twinkling. And that was like the two strings, you know, the two connections, the two students that we had just seen fighting. And I thought it was like really flawlessly connected in like multiple ways, and not just the quirk being the only connection between scene from scene.
Yeah. One of my favorite things within My Hero Academia has always been like the side or background characters, right? The characters that like we'll see fighting and we'll maybe get a name, and a lot of the times we don't, but you get to be able to try to understand or like theorize about what their quirks could be, what their limitations could be, how they use their power. God, Kunaida, I believe his name is, the mass murderer, corpse collect. Yeah, like he is so fucking cool. I love his design. I love his quirk. It seemed like taking all of the life out of Fat Gum too. He was able to make his own flowers resemble Fat Gum in a way.
Yeah, honestly, the whole thing was like pretty in a devastating way. Honestly, character design great. I love the like button-down shirt with the tie and the suit jacket, but as like a bottom half kind of skirt on the design. I think design-wise, flawless. Obviously dealt with. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, we're still dealing with the aftermath,
the saving of people. Yes, because these flowers, these kind of seeds, these growths within these people, they might be kind of dormant for now, but that doesn't mean that they're forever going to stay that way.
Aoyama's last day as a UA student. We'll see. Seeing Hagakure is mind-blowing for me still. Like,
nice little segue.
Yeah, I love that it's them, right? Because the idea of the traitor for so long being revealed as it being Aoyama came through Hagakure's own vision, and that's the first time that we see her refraction cause her to be visible.
And to be a character who the suspicion was on for, I think, a lot of the viewers. She was definitely one of the candidates that I think a lot of viewers were suspicious
Just
of.
cause invisible? Psh.
Just cause invisible.
See, that's coming from the mind of thinking that, like, Shinso had to be put on, like, what was put onto him. Because it's like, oh, mind control, mind abilities, that sounds like a villain's quirk. No! You can't just have a bias on people because of their quirk. Unbelievable.
Yeah, be biased toward the guy with the twinkling belly.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's bad. His stomach's always upset. It's a sign of his guilt.
Yeah.
But, yeah, anyway, seeing her, great. Her eyelashes are gorgeous.
What do you think the evolution of that will be? Because like Hagakure then being visible as part of her quirk, do you think that she would utilize like her hair follicles, much like Mirio, in order to incorporate like a suit for herself that she'd be able to still be invisible with and then be able to be seen with it?
I am not sure, because I started to like worry about it a little bit. Like, does this actually affect like her future as a hero? If her ability that used to just be always invisible, there's like issues with it and or times where she can be visible.
I feel like it empower her career as a hero, because it's like
helps with your fan base.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it's in her control, I believe, and she'll be able to master it. But it's a lot easier to cheer for somebody who has potentially the nicest eyelashes in the entire My Hero universe than if you can see them, you know?
I agree. But I think that what you're on, like her getting some sort of hero costume will probably be inevitable if she continues being a hero.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that brings up like a great question for what I assume will be the very end of this season, which is who out of the classes and the students would actually continue or want to continue being a hero? Would there be a need for it? Would they want to after some of the horrors that they've been through? What has been done to their body? Would they even be able to be in the future? So many questions in terms of that. I'd imagine
all of them, but I want to take that and pivot.
Okay.
Aoyama and Gentle need to like come together and just talk. Like both of them have such interesting lives and
complex.
Yeah, and the perspective of like Gentle being like trying to do something right and a good act, but it not resulting in a good result, and that leading to the life that he led and how he was viewed is really fascinating. And I feel like he and Aoyama could have a lot of bonding, and it could help Aoyama potentially in the future overcome his guilt.
I can agree with that. And any taunts that were done to Aoyama didn't work in this episode. He has come to this kind of confidence within himself and confidence in the feelings and the hearts of his classmates and his peers that he had been a traitor to, especially that had hurt him the most, that he had betrayed them. He feels such confidence in their feelings toward him and how he wants to continue living his life, that even if he's living surrounded by the disgrace that he's done, he wants to keep up with them. And I think he turned out to be a character that I would have never expected him to be.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to get more of a look at him at the start of this season.
Stain. I'm excited.
And then Stain.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So next episode,
Stain.
I would assume probably Stain and All
Do you
Might.
think next episode we're going to continue with the All Might All for One fight, or do you think we are going to then pivot to Izuku?
I really don't know how it's gonna be edited. Like, especially with this episode not having Deku in it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I could see multiple ways. I could see the finishing here to then going to Deku.
The first 10 minutes of next episode be the last 10 minutes of Deku's side of the fight, like in this episode of All Might.
I have no clue how they're gonna be editing this, the two fights together, stitching
Yeah.
them together. I'm excited for whatever it is. I assume that once we get back to Deku, I will probably have emotional moments as I did in this episode.
Yeah, it's either the opening or the ending there. Like, I love the sequence of both of Shigaraki and Deku reaching out to each other and it going through all the iterations of their ages in life. Like top.
You get me when you put Shigaraki
Dude,
in his child form
top-
next to Deku in his child. I'm like,
Top 5 moments in all of My Hero Academia for me is Bakugo reaching out to Deku when Deku was in his, like, dark era, and while they're having the conversation and he's reaching out to Deku on the ground, they're flashing between all the iterations of their ages, and I love everything that they play with within those type of sequences.
it's emotional. It's also, it brings up that idea of the continuous want and desire to instill like the seeds of hope and strength and continue that like lineage within the next generations of continuing the fight and the hopeful feelings, and that those kids are going to grow up and be amazingly strong. Using the kids even in the OP, or I'm going to assume it's the OP that we saw at the end, they even had the kid that was watching the show. They had Eri, they had different kids that are in the show, and it's like that is an immediate emotional response for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, you good?
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hope to see you next time.